All right, yo, what's up? This your boy, Derek Branch here of Memphis Wire on SportsView360.com, covering the Memphis Tigers. And today, the Memphis Tigers season is officially over after losing by 8 points to the Colorado State Buffaloes, 78-70. Memphis falls to 29. They close out the season with a 29-6 record and will no longer be participating in the NCAA tournament. Um, this is the second time under Penny Hardaway that the team has been eliminated from postseason contention. So, man, look, leading up to this game, when it was announced that Memphis would be playing Colorado State, I felt as though the Tigers, had enough firepower to get past this team and go to the next round and play somebody like Maryland, which does look like it's going to be the case. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen because it's just based on how it went, based on how the game was playing out. The Tigers definitely needed Tyrese Hunter in this game. I'm not making an excuse, but they needed Tyrese Hunter in this game. They needed their floor general. They needed another score to add on to what Dan Danger was doing in this game. And that's a fact. That's a fact in this game, bro. If not, man, if you didn't have Tyrese Hunter, that's fine. But to not have Tyrese Hunter and Dante Harris in this game really affected the Tigers in this matchup. And I felt like if the Tigers size, and the Memphis is not really a big team, but they're bigger than Colorado State. I felt as though that was going to be enough to overmatch them, but it wasn't, and they did what I thought it was going to do. To make up for for their lack of size, Colorado State was going to use their speed, their ability to try to attempt to cause turnovers in this game. Some of those turnovers by Memphis were self-inflicted, but it worked. If you look at the turnover battle, um, Colorado State only had 10, Memphis had 16. And the rebounding, I'm kind of surprised how even the rebounding battle was as well. Memphis out rebounded, but it wasn't by a lot, only about four. Memphis had 25 rebounds, and Colorado State only had no. Hold on, yeah, Memphis had 41 rebounds. Colorado State had 34. So it was a close rebounding battle. They made up for it by their shot. Their shooting was very good. It was deadly behind the court, behind the arc, beyond the arc. They hit 11 threes out of 30 attempts. Memphis only hit six threes out of attempts, so that really affected them. You know, Scoring, they hit Colorado State from beyond the 3 point line. They shot 36.7%. Memphis shot 26.1. So that put them behind the eight ball right there. Um, Scoring from the box score, Dane Danger had a solid game, 22 points, 12 steals, 3 blocks. PJ Haggerty had an off day. I'm gonna talk about him later on, but he was a little off today. 18 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 6 rebounds. Kobe Rogers, 18 points, 1 block, 1 rebound. The bench, not that much action from the bench, except for Moises Cisse, PJ Carter. Um, Moises Cisse had 3 points, 11 boards, 1 block, 1 steal. PJ Carter had 7 points, 1 rebound, and 1 3. So it was just an off night, man, for a lot of contributors for this game. And then on top of that, not having Pete Tyrese Hunter out there, not having Dante Harris, two reliable guards, two reliable scorers, really put this team behind the eight ball. Because if we're being honest, if we had those guys on the court, Memphis would have won this game. If you're going to go into halftime, the team is Memphis has been was 18. They were 18-0 going into halftime with the lead when they had the lead, 18-0. And I felt as though I believe it was 36-31 going into the half. I felt as though Memphis was going to come out of halftime and go for the kill shot, but that didn't happen because they couldn't keep the momentum. The turnovers became an issue. Dan Danger played a lot of minutes. I think he kind of in that second half, I believe around the 2 minute mark, he had no points. I think he was kind of played 40 minutes today. And didn't really have that much opportunities to get rest, and that's because of the scoring, the lack of scoring output. Guys weren't hitting their shots. PJ Haggerty was off, man. In that first half, he did not. He didn't. You know, he didn't have an effective output on the game. If we're being honest, PJ Haggerty. But sometimes it's just not your day. It's just not your day for some reason. You know what I'm saying? But Memphis could have won this game. I felt as though they could have won the game in the second half, but Colorado State adjusted, and it worked out just fine. It worked out just fine for them. That top player, Neek Clifford, he had 14 points, played 38 minutes, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. No 3 pointers. He didn't make any 3 pointers in this game, but he was effective. Jalen Lake, he had 14 points, three threes, 2 steals, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. Kanye Evans, he had 23 points, 2 steals, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. So their starting five, that's their entire starting five was solid in today's game. They had a solid output from their starting five. That's one factor that played into this game to Memphis losing this game. Compared to the Tigers, PJ Haggerty got going late. They needed him to get going earlier. You know, a lot of things swung to their side because Memphis was ineffective. But when the game started, it had that familiar flow of all pretty much most Memphis games were this season. It's kind of like a tight game, back and forward. It takes Memphis a while to get adjusted. And I thought that was going to happen when they took the lead 36-31 going into halftime. But like I previously said, Colorado State adjusted, and made them pay for it. You know what I'm saying? And it happens, man. It happens. Colorado State was playing red hot. It was a red hot team going into the tournament. They had won 10 straight games. Was runner up in the regular season conference championship, and then won the Mountain West title. So they had won 26 games. Got a somewhat identical record to Memphis. They won 9 games. They lost 9 games. Memphis lost 6. But well, you know what I'm saying. But Tigers got outplayed in the second half, and they also got out coached. You know, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. That's what happens sometimes in basketball and sports. You lose your best player. You're not one of your best players. You're not your best player, but you lose one of your top players, your top scorers, your field general, and this is what happens. It throws things off. And I thought Memphis fought hard in this game until the end, but it was by that time they had just gassed out, bro. They just gassed out. PJ Haggerty just didn't have one of those games where he has to take over where he could have he didn't have one of those games where the Tigers needed him to have, but the Tigers needed him to have one, and that happens sometimes. But what's done is done, and now it's on to the off season. On to the off season. Season over. But look, man, look. I feel as though the season was a success. You won the regular season title, and you won the conference tournament title. You got a fifth seed, which was the highest that ever been under Coach Hardaway. You change out the coaching staff right before the season tipped off, and you pretty much you brought back with Nicholas Jordan from last season, the only player that came back. You brought in one incoming freshman, I believe, and Jared Harris. You know, and you pretty much put this team together on the fly. If we're being honest, you assemble this team together, players that came from different programs, different coaching styles, different skill sets. You assemble them all together for 1 year, and look what happened. You got to the tournament, things didn't go your way. Oh well, but Penny Hardaway just got to go back to the drawing board and figure out, you know, maybe he needs to go back to having more players. You know, go back to having more players on this team. And this is kind of where not having that guy Tyreek Smith creeped up, because maybe if you have him, you can give Dan Danger a breather. You know, let Dan Danger sit down for a couple minutes. You know, but you didn't. But what's done is done now, and now you got to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to do the same thing once again, because you're going to lose a lot of these players. PG Haggerty has a decision to make. Moises says out of eligibility. Dan Danger's out of eligibility. I think Brock Okogie, he has some more time left. I think Kobe Rogers is done, I think, as well. Nicholas Jordan will be out of there. So you're gonna have to go back and assemble you a brand new team. Pretty much a brand new basketball team, and maybe you have to go back to what you was doing prior to this, and that's having an unlimited, I won't say unlimited, but having more players, having a longer, deeper bench, you know? So that it is what it is, man. But it's going to be an interesting off season, like always, for Memphis basketball in regards to the transfer portal. I already seen some names that have come about that I think will fit perfectly into the system, the Penny Hardaway system. But we'll see how that all play out in the next couple of days, because I'm expecting things to get hot and heavy as we get into the following weeks of the off season for the Tigers. So there's that. But Memphis fall short today. They're eliminated. They're eliminated in the West region first round by Colorado State by a score of 78-70. Their season is over, and Colorado State goes to the next round. But there's that. All right, so that's y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel or your takeaways from today's defeat by Memphis. Also, do you think the season was a success or a failure? And have a blessed day. Peace. I'll be back in the next couple of days with more Memphis Tigers content. Out.